Hey guys, it's Rachel from Hope Corner Farm. By day I'm a home ec teacher who teaches hundreds of students how to crochet, quilt, sew, and cook. And today I'm going to teach you how to double crochet 3 together. Now there are a couple of different ways to complete this stitch. I am going to show you both versions in this video, so be prepared to learn both ways to double crochet 3 together. If you're ready to learn, let's grab a hook and some yarn and we'll get crocheting. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel, hit the bell so you get notifications of when I post new videos, and don't forget to give me some feedback on this video. Give me a like or a comment, let me know what I did well or things that I could improve upon. So I like to start my rows of double crochet 3 together by chaining 2 and turning. Now if you need to see how to foundation double crochet, how to chain, how to regular double crochet, any of those things, check out the links below. I've got links to videos that go a lot slower for those stitches in particular. All right, so after chaining 2 and turning, I'm going to show you the first version of a double crochet 3 together stitch. Now this stitch can sometimes be used to reduce your stitch count. You could use it that way if you want, or you can get a different look like this. So here, this is a double crochet 3 together. I kept my edges the same, so I have some chains in between these to keep my stitch count the same. But this is the first version that we're going to work with. This is one where you double crochet across 3 different stitches. So you could use it as a stitch reducer because you could take your stitch count from 3 down to 1 with this stitch, and that works. So let's look at how to do this one. So if we were going to do a stitch like that, I would start by yarning over. So we yarn over. We're going to insert our hook into the very first stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through that stitch. Now you've got 3 loops on your hook. I would then yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That leaves you with 2 loops on your hook. Now we're going to go to the next stitch. So we're going to yarn over. We're going to insert into that next stitch. We're going to yarn over, pull through that stitch. Now you've got 4 loops on your hook. I would yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That's going to leave me with 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over again, insert into the 3rd stitch. So for our double crochet 3 together, there it is coming through the back. Yarn over, pull through that stitch. Now you've got 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops. You're left with 4 loops on your hook. I want to point out something here. I'm going to try and hold this so you can see it. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3 double crochets there that we're going to crochet together. So there's 1 double crochet, there's 2 double crochets, and there's the 3rd. Now to finish this out, I would yarn over and pull through all of those loops on the hook, and that completes one of those stitches. Now, if I were using this as a stitch count reducer or a decrease, I would then put regular double crochets all the way across the row to the end. So you could do it that way, and then you would reduce your stitch count by those 3 stitches. You would take them from 3 down to 1, basically, stitch. So you could do it that way, or if you want to have it look like this one does, I would chain 2 in between it, then that way you're keeping your stitch count the same. So just kind of keep that in mind. I'm going to keep my stitch count the same. I'm going to chain 2. Now I could work across the next 3 stitches. So I'll show you this version one more time. So I've chained 2 to keep my stitch count the same. So again, we're going to double crochet these 3 stitches together. So I would yarn over, insert into the first one, yarn over, pull through the stitch, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I would yarn over, go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. I would yarn over one more time into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Now I've got 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2 of them. Now there are 4 loops left. Again, you could see those 3 double crochets right there. Hopefully you can see that we're double crocheting together. And to finish the stitch, I would yarn over and pull through all 3 stitches. So you can see what that looks like there. This is a little bit easier to see because we're away from that edge chain. So I've taken my 3 stitches here and I've crocheted them together. So that's one version of the double crochet 3 together. Let me show you the second way to complete this stitch. When I get to the end of a row of this version of the double crochet 3 together, if I want to keep my stitch count the same, this is what I would do. So what I would do is I would chain 2. I can't fit any more across. I don't have enough stitches to stitch together. I'm going to come over here into the top of this chain here, and I would place a regular double crochet. Whoops, I would yarn over, insert my hook into there, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I would end this row with a regular double crochet. Now to go to the next row, I would chain 3, I would turn, I would work a regular double crochet into this chain 2 space, a second double crochet into that chain 2 space. I would place a double crochet in the top of this double crochet 3 together, 2 double crochets in the gap, because remember it's a chain 2 space, so it counts as 2 stitches. A regular double crochet in the top of the double crochet 3 together from the previous row. And I would just keep working like that all the way across. So then that way I can have some stitches that I can crochet together for the next row. So I would keep working those double crochets across this row. I just wanted to show you how my placement for my last 2 here. So this is the top of the very last double crochet 3 together from the last row, and this is the chain and turn stitch. So I would work a regular double crochet into the top of that one, and then I would work a regular double crochet into the top of that chain stitch. So then for the next row, I would chain 3, I would turn, I would skip this first stitch, and I would start working my double crochet 3 together across the next 3 stitches here. So I'll just show you what this looks like here. So this is what the start of the next row would look like here. You can see that, and then I would chain 2. Then after chaining 2, I would then again just work a double crochet 3 together across the next 3 stitches and keep repeating across. So I hope this version makes sense. Let's move on to the next version and we'll show you how to work that as well. All right, now for the next version of the double crochet 3 together. So again, you need something to work into. So for this version, it is sometimes called a cluster stitch, so just keep in mind it depends on what your pattern writer calls it, but it's a double crochet 3 together as well. So for this version, I would start by chaining 3, so there's 1, 2, and 3, and then I'm going to turn. Now this first chain 3 is going to count as a double crochet stitch. I'm going to skip this very first stitch right here, and I'm going to work into this second stitch right here. So the difference with this one, instead of working across 3 stitches, I'm going to work all of them into the exact same stitch. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook into that space, yarn over, pull through that space. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. I'm going to yarn over, go back into the same stitch. So instead of moving on to the next stitch, I'm staying in the same one. I'm going to yarn over, pull through that stitch. Now I've got 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. That leaves me with 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over again. I'm going to insert into the exact same space. I'm going to yarn over, pull through that space. Now I've got 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 of them. Now I've got 4 loops left on my hook. And if you can see this, again, I've got 1, 2, 3 double crochets there that are working together into 1 stitch. So 3 double crochets are being worked together. So there's my 4 loops on the hook. To complete the stitch, I would yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and that completes one of my double crochet 3 togethers this way. Now I like to put a chain between it so I can see these stitches a little bit better. So I'm going to skip this one and I'm going to work into this space right here. So I'm going to yarn over. I would insert into that space. I would yarn over, pull through that space. Now I've got 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, pull through 2. That's going to leave me with 2 loops on my hook. Yarn over, insert into the same space. Yarn over, pull through the space. Now I've got 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now I've got 3 loops left on my hook. Yarn over again, insert into the same space, yarn over, pull through that space. Now there's 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Now I've got 4 loops left on my hook, and hopefully you can see a little bit better those 3 double crochets, 1, 2, and 3, that are being crocheted together. Now to finish this stitch, I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 4 loops, and that would complete a second one of those. So again, could be called a cluster stitch, could be called a double crochet 3 together. It just depends on your pattern writer and what they call it. So I would keep repeating this across until the end. So I'll hurry up across here so I can show you what it looks like to end this row, so that way you know exactly how to end a row like this. Again, I'm going to chain 1 in between each of these here. Okay, so for my stitch count here, I just finished this double crochet 3 together. I would skip this chain and then into the very last stitch of my row here, so into this space right here, into this V, I would work just a regular double crochet. I would chain 1 after finishing that double crochet 3 together, and I would come over here and into the last stitch I would work just a regular double crochet, so it kind of looks the same from start to finish here. This one leans just a little until we get the next row worked into it. So that's what one row of this version of the double crochet 3 together looks like. If I were to go to a second row, I would again chain 3, so there's 1, 2, and 3, and I would turn. Now right away I would work a double crochet 3 together right into this space. So I would yarn over, insert my hook into that space, yarn over, pull through that space, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go back into the same space, yarn over, pull through the space, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches, yarn over, go into the same space again, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through all 4. I would chain 1, I would skip over this, and then I would work my next stitch into this next space. So that way you really make these stitches pop as you go across here. So you can see what that looks like there. So we're alternating here with the next row. I hope that makes sense there. So I would just keep on working my next row of double crochet 3 together in this style into the spaces across there. So in each space, in each gap there, that was created by that chain 1 from the previous row. And that's the double crochet 3 together in crochet. Whichever version you use, it adds a different look to your crochet projects, and they both can be used in different ways. And I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful. Don't forget to subscribe. Now if we get to the end of this row, a second row of that version, of this version of the double crochet 3 together, I would finish my last one into that last gap. I would chain 1 there. I'm going to come over here. Now there is technically a gap here, so I would work my next stitch into that. Okay, so after working my very last double crochet 3 together into this last gap here, I've chained 1, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here into the top of the chain 3, and I'm just going to put a regular double crochet into the top of that chain 3 from the last row to finish my row. And that's what a second row would look like. So then again, I would chain 3 to start the next row and keep repeating, working those double crochet 3 together clusters into each of those gaps. So again, this is the second version of a double crochet 3 together. It is sometimes called a cluster stitch. Again, this one shares the same bottom stitch, whereas this one goes across 3 different bottom stitches. Again, this version could work as a decrease row for your crochet projects, or you could just have it look like a different looking crochet stitch if you want to keep your stitch count the same. I hope that makes sense, or I hope I'm not being confusing. So again, the double crochet 3 together can be worked a couple of different ways. One where it's worked across 3 stitches, one where it's worked into the exact same stitch. Beyond where you work it, most of the rest of this stitch is exactly the same for both versions. It doesn't matter. So I hope you guys found this tutorial helpful.